Hey there, my name is Bill Marion and this is A Nose for Life. A few years ago, we made a video about the Garden of the Gods, an amazing natural tourist attraction in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's a breathtaking natural landmark known for its towering red sandstone formations that seem to defy gravity. These dramatic spires, fins, and balanced rocks rise against the backdrop of Pikes Peak, creating a striking contrast between the deep red rocks and the blue Colorado sky. But in this video, I'm going to share some strange and weird things about Garden of the Gods. Now, I have no idea if some of the information in this video is true or not. You want to watch this video the same way you would watch an episode of The Twilight Zone. And let us know what you think in the comments below. And hey, we try to respond to all comments. So go ahead and hit the like button and let's get started. For the past 3,000 years, many different indigenous peoples are associated with the Garden of the Gods. This is especially true with the Ute Indians. In the 16th century, Spanish explorers started calling this beautiful area the Red Rock Corral. Two surveyors cooked up the name Garden of the Gods in 1859. 20 years later, Charles Elliott Perkins purchased the land, but in 1909, Elliott gave the land to the city of Colorado Springs to turn the property into a free public park. It's a vast expanse of 1,300 acres. The Garden of the Gods receives 4 to 6 million visitors per year from all 50 states and 60 countries. It was voted the best city park in the U.S. and the second best city park in the world. It's an economic engine, providing more than 4,000 jobs to the Pikes Peak region and contributing close to $300 million to the economy every year. People visit Garden of the Gods because it doesn't feel like any other place on the planet. It's like walking on Mars, but with oxygen. So it's no wonder this place has its own lore and legends. Here in the American West, everywhere there's red rock, people claim there's a spiritual vortex or a door leading to another dimension. And it turns out there are a lot of red rocks in the American West. During our visit to Garden of the Gods, I didn't see portals to other dimensions. I didn't see vortexes either. Or is it vortices? Well, either way. However, there have been reports of unusual electromagnetic phenomena in the park. Some visitors claim that their electronic devices, such as cameras and cell phones, behave strangely. Now, believe it or not, this happened during our visit. This might have something to do with the high iron content in the rocks. I don't know, but we had issues with our cell phones the whole time we were there. On a side note, Garden of the Gods isn't the only place our cell phones act crazy, and it's not just losing power, just strange glitches. Has this ever happened to you with no explanation? Seriously, why is it that cell phones start acting strangely in certain places? But anyway, this actually happened to us. Our cell phones did act weird at Garden of the Gods. It's said that there's a donkey that haunts the park. In full disclosure, I had a really hard time finding two different sources for this story, but here it goes. One source claims that several visitors report seeing a ghostly donkey wandering the trails right around dusk. This spectral animal is said to be the spirit of a donkey that once worked in the nearby mines but met a tragic and sad end. But from what I can tell, this story might be told in towns all across the American Southwest. Legends are kind of like people, they migrate. What is true is that Garden of the Gods is home to all sorts of animals and birds. You might see bighorn sheep, mule deer, black bears, turkeys, and even elk. One of the things I like most about the Garden of the Gods is that the park features accessible trails and facilities, ensuring that visitors of all abilities can immerse themselves in the park. Animals aside, some visitors report feeling an eerie sense of disorientation while hiking in the park. And there are even tales of people briefly disappearing, only to reappear a short time later with no memory of what happened. Some visitors claim to have heard strange sounds echoing from the rocks themselves. Stories like these are rare, but they do add to the park's mystical reputation.
Incoming time jump. Incoming time jump.
By no stretch of the imagination am I the first one to say this. Garden of the Gods is like being on another planet, in another universe. It doesn't look like any other place on Earth. I mean, there's other interesting places on Earth, don't get me wrong, but it really does look like you're on another planet, and that's why it's amazing. This is the ultimate bucket list destination, and it is worth your time, money, and effort to be here. Now, this story has an interesting twist. There's a rumor of a hidden cave within the park. It's said that the cave will change locations, making it nearly impossible to find it twice. Those who claim to have stumbled upon it describe it as a small, dark cavern that feels unnaturally cold inside. The cave is said to be a portal to another dimension or a sacred place of ancient power. Well, here's the twist. There really is a hidden cave at Garden of the Gods. Sort of. In 1878, a trapper by the name of Jacob Spaulding made his way through a small hole at the base of the 320-foot Redstone Monument. There he discovered a cavern he estimated to be 15 feet wide, 200 feet long, and 100 feet high, with a sandy floor littered with mountain lion prints. Here's where the myth about the cave changing locations will start making a little more sense. After the cave's discovery, people just forgot about it. It's a big park. But in 1935, a man showed up asking about a cave he remembered from his youth. No one knew what he was talking about, but some men working for the Civilian Conservation Corps heard about the man who was asking about the cave, and they began looking for it, and they found it. They removed 75 truckloads of dirt from the cave that revealed a tall panel of names. Initials were carved on the wall too, and maybe there were some ancient drawings and carvings. The details are sort of blurry. The city sealed the cave the same year in 1935, and it was once again forgotten until 1963, when natural erosion opened up the cave once more. 3 park employees slipped inside. But not much is said about this incursion into the cave, but the city quickly sealed the entrance once again, and it's been sealed ever since. There's a growing movement to open the cave back up for historical purposes. The park agrees, but argues that there just simply aren't enough resources. Now, hearing this kind of response from the park makes it easy to come up with conspiracy theories that the park is trying to hide some ancient mystery. But I really don't think that's the case here. But the main point is that there really is a hidden cave. Kind of. That part of the legend is true. And the cave did disappear and reappear. But it was more like forgotten and remembered several times. The state of Colorado is a hotbed for UFO sightings, and there's a really good reason people see a lot of unidentified flying objects around here. Garden of the Gods is in Colorado Springs. In case you didn't know, there are three Space Force bases in Colorado Springs. And before I get in trouble with my old Army buddies, yes, I know Fort Carson is there too, but Army bases aren't that mysterious or spooky, unless you're talking about Fort Knox, in which case Fort Knox is evil. Leave a comment if you agree that Fort Knox is as spooky as I do. Anyway, Peterson and Schriever Space Force Base and Cheyenne Mountain Space Force Station are all located in Colorado Springs. This makes Colorado Springs the motherlode or headquarters for all conspiracies people. If anyone knows the truth about UFOs, anti-gravity gizmos, lizard people, or space laser death rays, it's the people working here. So of course, visitors to Garden of the Gods have occasionally reported seeing lights in the sky that don't fit the description of conventional aircraft or known celestial objects, but it's probably just swamp gas.
Garden of the Gods is a fascinating place, and it really lends itself to legends and lore, to the mystical, to the fantastic. One of the hardest things about making this video is actually finding a lot of fantastic or mysterious things about Garden of the Gods. But still, when you're there, your imagination can get carried away with you and you can think all kinds of things. And Garden of the Gods isn't that mysterious. It's beautiful. The American West is amazing, and it's all mysterious. It's all fantastic. But again, I just didn't find a whole lot about Garden of the Gods that made it any more mysterious than another natural wonder that Carol and I had visited in all of our videos, or in many of our videos. We made our last video in Smoky Mountain National Park. It was called The Spookiest Road in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And some of the comments from that video cracked me up because it's a lot of people defending the road saying, hey, it's not that spooky, or this isn't scary. And no, it's not one of those kind of roads that you go on looking for, jump scares. It's just when you're out there and it's storming and you're in the middle of nowhere, yeah, it's kind of spooky. A lot of times it's our imagination. We almost want it to be mysterious. I will say this, the cell phone thing, it really is true. We had cell phone issues the entire time we were out there, but it was also very, very cold, like 36 degrees. during the middle of the day. Still crowded at Garden of the Gods, though, in 2020, mind you. And yet our cell phones, even though we were right there in a city park, we struggled all day long. The batteries kept going dead. But it seems to be a common thread. People have cell phone issues out there. But we have cell phone issues in a lot of places. Still, Garden of the Gods is one of the most amazing city parks you'll ever visit. It should be on your bucket list if you go out west, if you go to Colorado, go to Pikes Peak, go to Garden of the Gods. It's amazing. Hey, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Here are some other videos I know you'll enjoy. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. My name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.